Hello.
And we go.
And welcome to Best/Worst, Episode 3.
Episode 3. The train's rolling.
Tres episodes.
This week we'll be doing Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. The hunk.
Oh, man.
The
guy who cannot escape the headlines with his ex-wife.
Yeah. He's hot right now.
Went
Hot
from
topic.
Heartthrob to heart attack any day now.
Yeah. He's an alcoholic and a drug addict.
Drug addict's catching up to him.
He's got some good fucking movies.
Yeah, he's got a long list of movies, which we are going to go over every one. And
Okay,
Mike will
stop
start
here.
with the plot.
All right, yeah, we're doing the plot of every single one of Johnny Depp's movies. No, this week we're doing...
The
What are we doing?
best.
Oh, I thought you were going to announce it.
I'm kidding. Pirates of the Caribbean,
The
Curse
best.
of the Black Pearl,
Which
as
is-
his best.
Oh, his best.
At a 8.0.
And then we're doing Yoga Hosers by
No,
Kevin
sorry,
Smith as his
8.3.
worst.
And then his worst.
Yoga hosers,
Yoga
huh?
hosers.
I mean, it could definitely be one of his worst. But he's only in like what, a third of the movie or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the final act guy.
Still, though, I
Well,
think...
he's in the beginning, and then he disappears for the middle, and then he's in the end.
Yeah.
So he's in about 2/3 of the movie, almost
I would-
2/3.
We won't have to get into it now, obviously, but I consider, out of all movies he's ever been in that I've watched, hands down the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the worst Johnny Depp performance I've ever seen. And I mean, because there's a few movies that I haven't seen of his, so I don't know. We'll find out.
We're going to dive deep
Yeah, we're going to
into it.
dive deep
We're
into his
gonna pull it
filmography.
apart,
But for
figure
now,
it out.
let's start with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates.
Now,
Now, which Pirates of the Caribbean?
we're going to start with the fifth one and work our way backwards. No, we're starting with Curse of the Black Pearl.
The
There we
first
go.
The very, very first one. The 2003 American dark fantasy swashbuckler film by Gore Verbinski.
I like the voices.
Oh,
We hired you for the voices.
Man, this movie, when this movie came out, I remember it was like one of those movies that like everybody had on DVD.
oh yeah.
It
Yep.
was like this, Joe Dirt, and Rush Hour
It was
2.
in the bin.
like,
Oh yeah. Oh definitely.
like, I feel like everybody had this movie.
You rushed to your local Strawberries. You know, you went there.
Oh my
Local
God.
strawberries.
Remember Strawberries?
And then you get your
Dude.
DVD.
Yeah, this wasn't a movie you rented. This was a movie you bought.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, yes. But this movie, there's so much water in this movie.
Yeah.
Very wet, watery movie.
Well,
Like,
that's what happens when you're on the sea.
they're pirates.
Yeah, I'm just saying movies that film on water are usually hard. You know that, right?
Mm.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, huh?
Yeah. Filming on water is notoriously hard, I guess, in Hollywood.
Really?
That's why, like, not this one, but the later Pirates of the Caribbean are like some of the most expensive movies like ever made.
Wow.
Yeah, like in the $200 to $300 million range.
Yeah, but they go on islands and stuff a lot.
Yeah, but I think it's just water in general.
Water's hard to.
Yeah,
water
that's why like
world.
Titanic was a shit ton of money because it had to do with water.
Water world.
Well, there
Filming
was-
on water is hard for actors and all
The
that
first,
shit.
they did that porno, the parody of the Pirates of the Caribbean. Remember hearing about
yeah,
that?
there was a few
and
of
that,
them.
that like set a record where it was like they had like $1 million budget or something.
really? For
it
a
was
porno?
Yeah, because they actually had CGI special effects of them fighting spider like skeleton guys.
And that
Wow.
movie's
Yeah.
probably better than Yoga Hosers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because you can whack
I mean,
off
look
to
at
it.
that. Pirates of the Caribbean was so amazing that someone said, "Oh, we're gonna make a fuck film to this. Here's $1 million."
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if it's harder or easier to make a water video game. Seems like it'd be easier because you just cover ground with water.
Yeah, that's probably easier because
That's
they're not
funny.
real actors.
Code / hyphen space
That's
water.
funny. The contrast there. Harder for movies, easier for video games. Best / worst, water.
It's
Best
fucking-
is movies,
Dude, you
worst
guys
is
know that
video
water's
games.
wet?
Water's wet.
Yeah, is it though?
I honestly think it'd be fucking miserable to do a
but
movie
is
where
a fish in
you're
water wet?
constantly wet too.
Oh my God! It's
in
probably- 'cause these-
costume and
yeah,
just
these
fucking
people are on
sitting
set
there.
for like 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
And there's,
You know,
like,
that's any movie.
wet. Yeah, but like once you involve water and like,
Man, I'm a big guy. I sweat a lot, so I'm always wet.
oh,
So
That's true.
anything I do is
Yeah.
like harder because it's like in the water, you know?
it's true.
Sloshing.
All right, well, obviously, Johnny Depp himself plays Jack Sparrow.
Yep.
Oh, Orlando Bloom as Will Turner,
Ooh.
blacksmith Will Turner, the son of Bootstrap Bill Turner.
Bootstrap Bill.
Keira Knightley, underbite queen herself.
Oh yeah,
that underbite, man.
Kind of looks like a French bulldog.
Ugh, there's something about Keira Knightley. I just want to.
She's got like a shovel chin.
Yeah, it's like a big chin.
It's like like the front of a train.
Yeah, you can't tell. Is she good looking or is she just like have
No,
the biggest underbite you've ever
She's
seen?
a hot movie star. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
that's
be honest.
true. But she looks a little anorexic.
That's like The Office when they argue about oh geez, what's her name? The actress.
Yeah.
Oh
remember
my
that
God,
scene.
what's her name?
Oh my God, you're killing me.
Yeah.
What is it?
How are we not? Oh my God, I'm like trying to replay every single.
I can never remember the actress, but I remember the scene.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was just ridiculous because she's obviously a hot movie star.
Yeah, and I think Jim said that at one point. He's
Yeah,
like,
he
he's
does.
like, guys, she's like a famous movie star. Like obviously, like
Jim's just saying that because he's married to Emily Blunt.
yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Anywho. All
back
right,
to
well,
the pirate universe.
let's get back into the pirate universe.
So let's
The
set
coolest
sail.
universe. Basically the Star Wars of the early 2000s. Epic.
Yeah,
Epic would describe this series.
Wow.
franchise.
I'm just
for
kidding.
Sure.
These
Chalking it
movies-
up.
The first one's good.
The first one
They
is
get
good.
way worse as they go on.
Yeah,
I think they get way more complicated as they go
Oh my
on.
God, the third one, it was so complicated.
The first one's kind of like, I mean, I wouldn't say simple because
No, it's simple for sure.
well, there's like the whole dead undead thing, and then the trickery they play with that at the end.
All right, what should we do? Should we do a quick synopsis, I guess?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
do a
just do a
quick,
quick
bring us
breakdown,
through the
you
movie.
know?
Yeah, I mean, it starts off
Comb us
with,
through the movie.
yeah, with
Yeah.
Keira Knightley as a young girl on her father's ship, and they find a young Will Turner, Orlando Bloom's young character.
thick fog. Q.
Thick fog, yep.
Thick fog.
Yep. Hiding that they're in a fucking backlaw in L.A. And they find him, and then she takes the pirate gold medallion around his neck. Blah,
That
blah,
ends up
blah.
being the last piece.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the last
obviously a
piece
big
of
part
treasure.
of the fucking storyline.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert. Then what else? I mean,
And what else? Then the movie ends.
yeah, movie over.
Well, I mean, what? It's basically.
No, then it flashes forward, and they're older.
And then
Yeah,
Johnny
it flashes
Depp
forward.
shows
They're
up,
older.
Shit hits the
Captain
fan.
Jack Sparrow comes to the port.
It cuts to Jack Sparrow, and he's had his ship stolen from him.
Yep.
He doesn't have
Yep,
the
he
Black
arrives
Pearl
really
anymore.
cool looking. His ship sinks as he enters the town.
Yep.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool entrance. You're like, whoa, who is this guy, man?
This mysterious man.
Yeah. And he comes up, and they arrest him. And they chase after him, right?
Mhm.
That's what goes
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
and
Is
then
it that
Orlando
epic
Bloom-
chase?
Yeah. Then Orlando Bloom chases them. Fights them, right? In his blacksmith.
Oh,
What do you
yeah,
call
'cause-
that? His quartermaster. What do you call a blacksmith?
The old blacksmith shop down the fucking road.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Gary, go there. He'll make
Yeah.
you a fucking sword.
Yeah.
He'll fucking make you
Hammer and anvil, you know?
Then what else happens?
a forge. The forge.
Yeah,
The
they
local
fight.
forge.
All right, so then Captain Jack Sparrow gets arrested, right?
Mhm.
So then that night, right? Don't the ghost guys come? The skeleton crew.
Yep.
They come with Jeffrey Rush as Captain Barbossa.
Yeah, who ends up he's the main villain of the movie.
Yeah, man, that guy's got some craters on his nose. He gives Lawrence Fishburne a run for his money
Oh
with the
my
craters.
God.
They got some fucking crater.
How much money would you pay to take a nice butter knife and some peanut butter and just smooth it all over?
Just fill in the
Yeah,
holes.
just fill it in.
Yeah, he looks perfect. His skin's perfectly
And it
smooth.
Looks
Yeah.
CGI.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
If you
painful.
want, you can push in a few raisins, just like ants on a log.
So, all right, so then the skeleton crew, they come, they take Keira Knightley. Orlando Bloom's in love with her, so he goes to Captain Jack Sparrow, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
And ask for help.
ask for help to get her back.
Yep.
So then what's next? Then
But there's cross trickery going on. This
Yeah.
is when you start to learn like what it means to be a pirate. You know, Johnny Depp pulls that off so well as Jack Sparrow.
he's very convincing as a pirate.
You think he's helping him to get back the girl, but really,
He wants his
Orlando
ship back.
Bloom doesn't know that. He doesn't know at this point that his ship has been stolen by him, and that you know what I mean. So that's his real motive right there. And then there's the whole thing with the gold too, which is like another underlying plot that's going on that you don't really quite understand. You just saw the gold in the beginning, and the blood. It has to be the bloodline.
Yeah, of Bootstrap Bill's son.
The person who
They have
stole
to get-
Orlando
it.
Bloom.
Yeah, Orlando Bloom.
Yep. But
To-
they
to-
don't
to
know
lift
that.
the curse.
They think it's her. That's why they kidnap
Yeah,
her.
because she's wearing the medallion.
Yeah.
So they think it's his daughter.
And that's the
Bootstrap
scene
Bill's
where
daughter.
she's like holding the coin over the edge of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
She has them under, like, she's kidnapped, but she has control over them because she threatens to drop it. And they're like, oh, if they lose that gold, they'll have to find it in order to lift the curse because they're the fucking undead. You better start believing in ghost stories because you're living in one.
Parlay.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the lines I remember.
Yeah.
And then later on, it's Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp. He's like trying to think of the word like later on in the movie, and then it's the guy with the wooden eye who's like parlay. Like who tells him, and he's like, oh yeah.
All right. So then what? All right. So then Jack and Will, they go assemble their team, right?
Yeah.
They get the cool guy with the handlebar mustache. Who's in
Oh,
all
right.
of them.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck his name is.
They put together the crew.
The crew. They got the little person.
Yep.
That cool little guy.
The midget.
Whoa, Tom. Jesus, dude.
Hard M word.
Yeah, hard M word, dude. It's little person.
The fidget midget.
Dude.
Oh, geez, sorry.
All right.
Well, we could
All
have
right,
little
let's
people
move
listening
on.
to this.
All right, yeah, this is getting
Let's
really
move on.
bad.
Yeah.
Whoa. Let's move on here. All right, so then they go to rescue her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens?
When they go to rescue her?
Yeah, what happens?
Don't quiz me.
I'm quizzing you.
I
want to know. I want you to tell me what happens.
That's when he makes the first suit, his first Iron Man suit, to get out of that situation.
It's when he escapes from the cave in Kazakhstan.
Yeah. Yes. I knew it. Pass. Yes. I'm so good at quizzes.
Well, what happens? They go to save her. Then Will gets taken by Captain Barbossa, and then Jack Sparrow and.
Oh. Is this when they fight in the cave?
Yeah. Right?
Because they get in the cave, I think, quick, right? And then they have to end up going back, or.
Is this when they first try to put the gold back in?
Yeah.
This is when they've tried to lift the curse. They take the gold, they cut her hand, they drop the gold piece in with the bloodline of the person who stole that gold into the thing, but it doesn't work. And that's when they find out that it's Orlando Bloom's bloodline that they need. And then they kidnap him.
Yeah, and they get rid of Captain Jack Sparrow and
they try
Elizabeth.
This is when they stab Jack Sparrow, but he ends up being undead himself.
Oh, that's right. No, yeah, because doesn't he hold the coin?
He takes the coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you find out he's a ghost.
Yeah.
Yep.
He uses that, and then no. That's afterwards, because that's when they kill the bad guy. That's the last scene.
See, I'm having trouble. If you can tell by how I'm talking, I haven't seen this movie in about 10 years.
Great preparation.
Well, no, because it's also because they go back and forth to that cave. I feel like don't they go there and then it doesn't work out and then they have to end up going back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what goes down.
Sure. For the sake of the podcast, that's exactly what happens.
This movie, I did not want to watch this movie. Thank God.
This movie's 2.5 hours and it's for kids.
Yeah, it's for fun.
I've seen this movie a million times, and it's like I remember liking the idea of Pirates of the Caribbean, but I can't remember the plot at all.
There's a flood of honesty flowing through the room here.
Like when you think of Pirates of the Caribbean, you think of Johnny Depp. Like you don't think of anything else. I don't think of the fucking plot line with the coins.
Yeah. No, you just think of cool pirates, awesome costumes.
Yeah.
Sea battles. But that's how the movie ends. You know? Mm-hmm. It's in that cave. It
is, yeah, because Barbossa dies in the cave, right?
They try to kill Jack, and he ends up being a skeleton, and you see skeleton Jack Sparrow, and he's like, he's all undead, and it's
all janky as
shit.
shit.
They lift the curse, right? And Barbossa gets shot.
They lift the curse off him by dropping the coin in with Orlando Bloom's blood, and then she shoots him at that exact second.
Yeah.
And that's how they end up killing him.
Yeah.
But doesn't he come back?
He does come back.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck is the point?
Because that's the problem, that the storyline, especially throughout the next 4 movies, gets
the next 2 are the ones that are very directly connected, but then like the last 2 are the ones that are kind of like still part, but they're not like part of the main.
Yeah,
storyline.
it's not the same story arc.
No.
Yeah. they're just so convoluted. There's so much that goes on.
Oh my god!
And then when they bring in the second movie, what's that guy, Davy Jones?
Oh, Davy Jones, yep.
Oh,
and
my
the third
God.
one's
and that
like,
whole thing with his love and his heart and having control over him, and each
the
person
locker, Davy Jones' locker,
hit the locker with his heart in it.
All right, well, this isn't the Pirates here. Let's move on.
Well, we got to talk about. We can't ignore the fact that they made 4 more movies.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, I guess.
Never. Yeah, we're talking about it.
I don't. Oh god.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. They have 5 of these total, but.
Well,
Yeah,
if you wanna talk about the credit that Pirates of the Caribbean is due, you have to talk about what it influenced. You can't just act like it was only one movie. They made 5 movies, so that's part of why it's rated 8.0 and at the top of our list and the movie of our topic. Now, if you think it's his best movie, that's when we get to that.
So it's not my personal top.
No, it's not my personal top either.
No, not
it's
at
one
all.
of those ones when I first heard it, I was like, huh. And then you think, and then it's just because, like you said, making 5 of those movies, and he became, extremely well known for that. It was like whenever you would think of him and Jack Sparrow and that weird, janky character, just like kind of like, going, like teetering back and forth and shaking his hands. But, we'll obviously get to that, but I agree. It's
kind of like almost like comparable to The Matrix, and like where there's the impact that creates like such a pop culture around the movie, but in this case the movie itself may not be of the highest quality, where The Matrix is still wow, that movie's awesome, plus the fucking, it's kind of like Avatar. It's like Avatar had such a pop culture influence, but then when you watch the movie, it's not going to make your top 5.
No.
You're kind of like, all right, it's a fucking movie.
And Avatar is
kind
of waning. Like, they kind of waited too long.
It's just a convoluted love story. That's what they always end up being. And that's what each one of these ends up being too.
Yeah.
Between Orlando Bloom and somebody, or between Davy Jones and the fucking witch.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck, and all this weird stuff.
Squid face.
Well, let's just, I guess the end of the movie, Jack Sparrow gets away. They let him have a head start.
Blah, blah. He steals back the Black Pearl.
Yeah, Will and Elizabeth are gonna get married or something.
Yeah, they finally confess.
I can honestly care less about this movie. I don't know why. I find it hard to talk about. I don't know why.
It was a great movie.
It was at the time, but I don't know why. I just feel like it's hard to talk. I don't know.
Really?
Well, you know why? Because it's like, I don't know. Maybe because like obviously we were younger, and like you're kind of captivated by the action and like the whole pirate thing. Because that theme in itself had been brought back. Like there had the kind of that genre of movie was forgotten about for a long time.
Yeah, there was no pirate really movie.
Yeah,
let's be honest. The special effects is what saves this movie.
Oh yeah,
the special effects
totally,
and the costumes.
The costumes and like the
Johnny
practical
Depp's
effects.
Acting.
Yeah,
Johnny Depp's acting.
Well, Johnny Depp definitely is the reason why they made 5 more.
Yeah.
5
is
total.
What it is. Yeah.
Like the scene, like when you can, you actually see them in skeletons, and like you can see it in the moonlight. Like that was crazy.
Yeah.
Or when they're in the water, that's like
when they're walking through the water.
Yeah, because I remembered they were in that cave, and while that was happening, I forget his name, but the interceptor, like the guy came for Elizabeth.
Dorrington.
Yeah, the Dauntless or whatever the hell. Well, that was the name of the ship or something like that. But yeah, so
Captain
they were
Dorrington.
Yeah,
but people
they were
call him
there,
Borrington.
And like, and then that's when anyway, the skeleton guys, when they're in the water and they're like walking on like the sea floor, like to the boat.
Oh yeah, they're using their undead powers to sneak up.
Yeah. It was like, oh, that scene was badass too.
Yeah. Very cool.
But yeah, it's true. And then it's one of those movies you go back, especially older, and then it just...
Yeah, and it's just not as interesting.
It's just entertaining.
The story's not as satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm being very negative about this movie, but I mean, at the time, I did love it.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's...
And I actually did like the second one. What was it called? Dead Men's...
Yeah, I liked the second one.
I
think it was...
I actually really did like the second one.
After the second, the rest of them, I don't think I've seen all of them from beginning to end. It just kind of like fell off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's just so much.
Dead Man's Chest. Dead Man's Chest. I remember liking that one. At World's End is the one where it's really long and you don't know what the fuck is going on.
There's 30 storylines going on.
Yeah, like
which one is the one where Jack Sparrow
he's stuck in the locker thing?
Well, he's on like the island. Like
yeah.
You
don't know what the fuck is, and then
because he at the end of the second one, Davy Jones's curse is that he has to stay at sea for. He can only spend 1 day on shore like every year or something. And then at the end of the second one, Johnny Depp is the one that goes on. It gets that curse, and like he's gonna. Oh no, it's Orlando Bloom.
No, that's at the very end of the third one.
That's the end of the third one.
Yeah, where he becomes the guy.
Yeah,
he can only have 1 day.
The story is so convoluted.
All right.
You can't even remember what's what movie and what's not. It's just one giant.
The first
long
one was
story.
simple enough too, like the supernatural part of it.
Yeah.
You know, it was like there was cursed treasure. It didn't get returned, so pay up.
Very simple.
Yeah, pretty simple. And then when you get it back, then you can eat some apples and oranges. And the nice spread
he didn't get his apple.
Yeah. So.
Well, let's talk about Johnny Depp. Like I feel like before Pirates, I was telling Tom earlier, he was kind of like almost like not an indie guy, but like he was in like a lot more smaller like mafia stuff, like Blow and Donnie Brasco.
Blow.
And like
what
Blow's
a great movie.
And like Edward Scissorhands, like a lot of Tim Burton stuff.
Crybaby.
And Crybaby. Then he was also obviously on the show 21 Jump Street. And then I feel like once Pirates came out, that's like the click when like Hollywood is like, this guy is the shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's like when he became a blockbuster Hollywood A-lister.
Yeah, I feel like
was Pirates.
Almost like Pirates was like his peak. Mm-hmm. It's like his record and his speaks for itself. So like this is going to be that big, hoping obviously before it came out, that big blockbuster that they could milk and have a huge series. And
because 1 year later, after Pirates of the Caribbean came out in 2003, was Secret Window.
Oh, I love that movie.
I know that's your personal. You love that movie.
But I honestly forgot about Blow. It's crazy, like when we go back with some of these actors, and you go through movies, and like you're just like when you are actually scrolling through them, and it's like holy shit, like you forget about a lot of them.
Yeah.
But Blow. I mean, Fear and Loathing. That's
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
that's.
I love Sleepy Hollow. I was a big Sleepy Hollow guy.
Yeah, that movie's pretty
Tim
cool.
Burton. I love that movie.
Oh my god!
Really?
How about Todd Sweeney? Was it Sweeney Todd?
Sweeney Todd.
Did I say Todd Sweeney?
It's Todd Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, you came with us, right?
Yeah, we went.
So we went to this movie. We're like, this looks badass.
It's like it's a horror movie.
Yeah, horror movie. Fuck yeah! Oh yeah! So then we all go, and all of a sudden they start singing, and then so it was like, okay, all right, yeah, whatever. It's a London song. It's a London kind of based movie.
Yeah.
All right,
so are
whatever.
they going to sing the whole movie, or?
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, they
start?
just kept singing, and we were like, "Holy shit! This is a fucking musical right now." Oh. I don't know how.
It was the longest 2 hours of our lives.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh my god. But I mean, Johnny Depp, he does have some great movies.
He's in Fantastic Beasts. Remember?
Oh my god.
Oh wow, I forget about. He's like basically their Voldemort.
Yeah, he's Grindelwald.
Yep.
Oh god. That I feel like Johnny Depp now is just.
And then he did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh
yeah, what 2004?
Alice
2005.
Wonderland.
Oh my god!
How about What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Yeah,
he's great in that movie.
Yeah, that's crazy too.
I love younger
because last
Johnny
week
Depp.
we did Leo.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, we can't get away from this movie, man. We cannot get away from What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Yeah,
we might have to do a special episode.
Oh, what's his face?
Where's Gilbert Grape? Hardcore review, scene by scene, dude.
What about shoot? How am I forgetting his name? Step Brothers, not Will Ferrell.
John C. Reilly.
Yeah, he's in What's Eating Gilbert
Grape.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
He like lives in the town, right? He's just like a
what the
family
fuck,
friend.
dude?
Yeah, he's like Johnny Depp's
I think
best friend.
Dude, there's something about this movie. I don't know. There's something
connected. It's like the Kevin Bacon thing. Like Kevin Bacon's connected to everything.
There's something on this movie. There's something.
You ever heard about that?
No.
Something in the water
you ever seen
going
the Kevin Bacon thing? You type in an actor or something into Google, and it tells you.
Oh, you can always track back to Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. It's like their Kevin Bacon number, where
within
it's like
a certain amount of movies.
Yeah, like,
really?
Yeah, like
nobody's like more than 5 movies away from Kevin Bacon or something. I forget.
Say like Kevin Bacon works with like let's just say Charlize Theron.
Yep.
She has a Kevin Bacon number, I think, of 1 or 0.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, if Ben Affleck's worked with Charlize Theron and she's worked with Kevin Bacon, Ben Affleck's Kevin Bacon number is like 2.
Okay.
Because he's 2. It's like the weirdest shit, but it's like in Google.
Really?
It's like a mini game
almost
it's like
in Google.
Thing.
It's old.
I don't know.
Kevin Bacon, man.
He's a great actor. We should do him someday.
Yeah, we'll do him week 30.
I like Kevin Bacon. Big Footloose guy.
We'll get to him. We'll do week 30. You heard it here first.
What about Chocolat? Huh? Forgot about that.
I remember that.
Never saw
like,
that movie.
Is that like a sexy
What
movie?
is that?
Does that have like sex?
With Johnny Depp?
Yeah, Chocolat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chocolat.
Oh, okay. In 2000? No, I did not see that.
No, I've heard of the.
Black Mass was good.
Oh, Rango. He
Whitey
did
Bulger.
Black Mass
he
was the
did the
movie where
voice.
like leading up to Black Mass, like everybody's like, oh my god, Johnny Depp's back.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like he's had some stinkers.
I did like Secret Window, man.
I love that.
Yeah.
I thought
That movie is
was-
pretty fucking good,
Yeah,
actually.
it
That
is.
tells a really
Yeah,
good
Stephen
story.
King.
It does.
And he just plays like a normal guy. It's not
Yeah.
really like supposed to be like over the top, like acting.
Well, semi-normal. He's going through some weird shit.
He does some weird shit, but his
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He's not like, all right, Johnny.
Yeah, do your
All right,
thing.
Jonathan. Do your
No, I
fucking
think I mean,
weirdo hip swing.
I mean, we could probably talk about
hand
this
thing.
more in the worst part of the episode, but it's more the early Johnny Depp and Tim Burton stuff is really good. Edward Scissorhands, Ed Wood,
Yeah, Edward Scissorhands is
Yeah.
a fucking classic. Dude.
Sleepy
Everybody's
Hollow.
seen that movie.
But then it's the later Tim Burton stuff that kind of gets fucking terrible.
And it starts to get more for
Charlie and the
kids.
Chocolate Factory,
more
Alice
for
in
kids.
Wonderland.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's more
You
for
know?
kids. These guys, as they get older, they
Like
have
they could never
families.
come out with Edward Scissorhands with the way that movie looks, with those effects, with the fucking gloves on his hand.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't come out with that movie today and say that it was for little kids.
Yeah, no.
No fucking way, dude. Kids would be scared shitless of that, dude. It's all animation and fucking, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
gotta be
creepy
like,
Tim Burton shit,
yeah. It's like
like Beetlejuice.
angsty, That was just scary. That was a scary dude.
Oh, it's so scary.
Yeah, he was in Fred, and then he was in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep.
Yeah, Humble Beginnings.
Yeah,
Just
his
the guy
first
who
movie.
dies. Doesn't he get sucked into the bed and the
Yeah,
blood squirts out?
Yeah,
and-
it's like a fountain of not even a fountain.
that's
It's like
crazy.
a geyser of blood.
He was in Tusk.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that part when we
Yeah,
talk
the
about
same
fucking.
universe.
Yoga hosers.
Oh, Yoga Hosers, eh?
Transcendence.
I never saw
Transcendence.
Transcendence. I was
I
pumped.
saw it.
I was pumped for Transcendence because it's directed by Christopher Nolan's cinematographer. This guy Willie Pfister.
Yeah.
And when I heard about it, I was like, oh, it's Christopher Nolan's cinematographer because his movies are always well shot,
It's his
like Dark Knight.
predecessor.
So like, I was like, oh my god, like this guy's the next Christopher
It's
Nolan.
his predecessor.
He had one movie and it was Transcendence and it did terrible.
It was
It
bad.
got poor reviews.
And it was bad.
Man, it was bad. But let's go over to the facts, man.
Oh, we got some. Excuse me. We have some facts
Yeah,
on deck.
I want to learn more about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, I'll tell you a couple things about Pirates of the Caribbean. Let me ask you a question. If I were to tell you that Johnny Depp based his character off of a rock star, what rock star would
Mick
you
Jagger.
guess? Close.
Close. I know the answer, so let's have Tom guess.
It's not Mick Jagger?
Nope.
Like, how is it not Mick Jagger?
Who else is in Rolling Stone?
Yep.
The Rolling Stones.
Oh, isn't he in one of the movies?
Yes.
Yep.
He plays.
Oh, what's
Yep.
his name?
Keith Richards.
Keith
There you go.
Richards.
Keith Richards.
Yeah,
Plays.
yeah.
He ends up playing Jack Sparrow's
He's
dad.
part of the same ship. He's on that same crew.
Yep. Yeah, Richards. He
They're
was
both
actually
fucking pirates.
he was cast as Captain Teague, Jack Sparrow's father, in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
His father?
Yeah, his father.
Oh.
So yeah, that kind of makes sense, especially with how I'm referring to it as janky. I'm trying to just picture it in your head where he's got his arms out and he just seems like
He's a drunken.
like an Ozzy Osbourne,
Yeah, he's a drunken
alcoholic.
Keith Richards,
Bad person.
just trying to make it through life, just
Kinda
like
how he's in
stumbling
real life,
through.
yeah.
He's a drunken mess now.
The fucking drunken master.
He drinks like $50,000 of wine a month.
Oh, Johnny Depp. Oh yeah.
Remember that
Yeah.
article that came out like a year or two ago?
Yeah. Oh,
Jesus.
who was? Oh, it was of course Joe Rogan on his
Yo
podcast
Rogan.
when he was talking about that interview, and then, what did he say? He like how Johnny Depp said it in an interview was like kind of almost like pretentious. Like
Yeah,
how-
they said they asked him about
Oh, that's-
$30,000
yeah,
a month.
yeah.
He said no, it's more like 50.
Yeah. He
What
was
was
like, oh,
that
not
for
nearly enough.
How much he got paid?
No, for how much he spends on wine every month.
a month.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah. Someone
Wow.
was like, "Oh, I heard you spend whatever," and he was like, "Oh, that's far too little for what I actually spend," or like something. Just kind of
Really?
like, yeah,
Wow. That's a lot.
that's a lot of money. That's
Unless
a lot
he's
of
just
grapes.
drinking really good wine.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I mean
sure it's
nothing
both.
but the best.
Yeah, just Johnny Depp got so rich and so weird. He like lives in like a Paris castle.
It's like-
he lives in
Yeah.
like a French castle or something, and he's like locks himself away. And,
It's like a homeless
Yeah.
guy
Divorced
who gets
now
drunk
again.
on like cheap pop vodka and he drinks like there's all like bottles of it,
Oh
but
my
except
God.
like each bottle is like $1,000 bottle of wine.
Yeah, like a really nice wine.
Yeah.
He's just chugging it.
It almost would be like a cue from a villa, like when we went to Local 121, and it was like this bar, and it was like dark in there. And
remember that place?
Yeah, and the villa
it was so
like,
hard to see.
Yeah, and the villa, we go in there, and the villa's just like, it's dark, and people are drinking wine. Where the fuck did you take us? And
Yeah, that place was terrible.
Yeah, that's Johnny Depp's hangout spot.
And
Those
he's also a hardcore smoker too. I heard he smokes literally he's a non-stop smoker. Like never stops smoking cigarettes all day long.
Yeah.
He's badass.
Does drugs. I don't know what drugs he does.
I've seen
a lot of pills.
He's definitely doing something.
I've seen a poster of him like sitting there rolling a joint.
He definitely smokes weed. Yeah, I'm talking
he's
more
like
hard
rolling
stuff.
a spliff, and he's like sitting at a piano.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like rolling a spliff, and that was like a poster.
He does. He looks like a guy who rolls his own cigarettes.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
He's got the Bugle.
Definitely rolls cigarettes.
Smoke spliffs, man.
All right, where were we? Oh yeah, back to the facts.
So just another
facts man.
just another one for
He's
you.
the
So
facts
that first scene with the fog and the ship. That shot is actually 5 different cuts together. So they started filming that in the beginning of production, but didn't actually complete it until 2 days before the premiere.
Scene with them as little kids?
In the fog, yeah. Like the very, very first where they're on the ship, and then Elizabeth, as a young girl, finds William in the water, and they grab him,
yeah.
So I guess that scene, which you would assume would just be one shot, was actually 5 different shots. And it wasn't actually finished. It wasn't completed until 2 days before the premiere.
Holy shit!
Wow, so much time put into just a small.
Yeah. Hey, maybe you know what? Maybe it could go back to the fact that it's on water, and like you were saying,
it's the water. I'm telling you.
Fuck! The pool's booked again. We're gonna have to do it right before the premiere.
Yeah.
Did we get that tank that they shot the Titanic in? Nah, it's booked for Deep Blue Water 3.
Deep Blue Sea?
Deep Blue Sea 3.
Starring LL Cool J, Nelly.
Yeah. It's my fucking life!
Cool J.
It's my life we're talking about.
Any other good facts?
Well, I mean, one thing that when I read it was pretty cool, but I kind of remember it was the when they are skeletons, all the pirates, they use their same eyes. So like when they did the CGI, they just carried over all of the actors' exact eyes, so that way they would still have the same kind of personality or kind of look when they were skeletons. To carry that
they were
over.
good skeletons. That skeleton crew was definitely really good.
And I think it goes back to like we were saying, to the special effects. It's like it can be a transform. I mean, I think it was better than Transformers, the later ones, but it's like you can get away with having like over the top amazing CGI and special effects with a shitty story.
Right.
If you can entertain people at least for 2 hours.
Just created a
and that's
cool
what the
world.
series is. It's an entertaining series.
Yeah, it's
not supposed to be. It's actually crazy.
Just like Avatar. It created a fucking cool world.
Yeah.
And that's what fucking carries it.
It is crazy that Johnny Depp got an Oscar nom for this movie.
Wow.
That is kind of... You wouldn't think that such a,
Yeah, because this is like fantasy, like...
Yeah.
Action movie where it's crazy.
So actually, the gold, that darn treasure they were trying to return, the cast and crew all split that. And the that treasure cave that they're in the final scene, they actually broke up all that staged treasure. So basically, like cast and crew members could walk away, and they all took whatever
Johnny
they wanted.
Depp probably melted it and smoked it.
Oh yeah, he probably did. I wouldn't be
He
surprised.
probably did. Crazy
hilarious.
Might have
motherfucker.
melted it down for a little Prince Albert he gave himself after a couple bottles of wine. I look pretty! Another fun thing, too, which is we actually talked about it last week with Inception, how it was first kind of thought of or conceived way before it actually came out. The development started for this back in 1993.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
So
it makes sense. They have that ride at Disney. It's like, we got to turn this into a
Yeah,
big movie.
yeah.
It probably took years to get made.
Right.
Well, the funny thing, too, is the director, he actually was, when he was a child, he was scared of the attraction. It
Really?
freaked him out. Yeah, so he kind of thought it was a funny thing of how it worked out where he ended up working on this movie, a ride that he once as a
Conquered
kid was
his fear
scared
to make the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Wow.
How
What
about
an
that?
inspiring story.
It's kind of nice. There were some of the other things. It's kind of interesting to see other people that were going to potentially be cast.
Oh, really? As
Yeah.
Jack Sparrow?
Oh yeah, Sparrow.
Will
there was,
Smith,
there
Nick
was some pretty
Cage.
interesting ones.
The same runners.
Just the same runners.
The same guys that always apply.
It was so actually Matthew McConaughey was one name that came up
as Orlando Bloom's character, or
no, as Johnny
Jack Sparrow.
Jack
See, I
Sparrow.
can picture more in the Orlando Bloom role.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see him as Captain Jack.
Yeah, but that's
Sparrow.
got to be a young guy.
Well, in 2003, Matthew McConaughey was young.
Was he?
Well, in
Was
Dazed
he?
and Confused, about 10 years earlier, he was in his probably mid-20s. So he was probably, I guess he was probably in his early 30s.
Yeah.
All right, I could see that. Orlando Bloom was much younger.
Yeah.
You know, early, okay. Maybe early 90s, Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so excuse me, Matthew McConaughey, Christopher Walken. That makes
That's-
sense
What
to
the
me.
fuck?
That's a different movie.
I mean, it's a different movie, but I mean, I could see it. That would have been like oh my god, that would have been like a Jack Sparrow. Like I can't even imagine. I could see him all dressed up as a pirate, but it would
I
just
can
be.
picture it, but
I don't know.
It
I
would
don't
just
know
be
if-
him cutting through the costume.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to ignore the
would be
fact
no
that
action.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there would be
yeah.
no. Oh my god, what
He'd
would
be
he
standing
do?
there just rambling.
That is true. I mean, when they were considering, like, if even Christopher Walken, someone had to have been like, "How are we going to make him grab that pulley and fly around the pier and land?" You know, it's like the liability on that.
That's
is just
hilarious.
crazy.
That's a different movie.
Yeah. Another one was Jim Carrey, but
Oh,
interesting.
God.
That kind of got squashed because there was a scheduling issue. He was at the time doing Bruce Almighty, so it conflicted with his schedule. So that never really.
Jeez,
got
can you
pushed.
imagine?
It's definitely better than Christopher Walken, but once again, that's a different movie. That's more shticky. That's more like
That movie wouldn't have gone anywhere either.
no. I think Johnny Depp was perfect. Like his
Can
interpretation
anybody
of a
else
drunken.
have done it as well?
No.
You
You
know?
know
No,
who could have
not
done
this
Who
character.
would make a
You know who
really
could have
good-
done better? And this is one of the last people I saw that was considered for it. Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton?
See, like,
How the fuck did he even get
I don't
considered
know.
for that?
What the fuck?
That was
well,
most.
he is good at as a character, like Beetlejuice. Like he's good at doing characters, like, but like he's already in his like early 50s. Like,
yeah, maybe
that's
like
a different
bad
movie.
guy.
And like Christopher
Maybe he
Walken.
could be a bad pirate.
Yeah.
There's no way he's going to be the Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, no, like that's a different
Jesus.
movie. Like, all these
Yeah.
are different movies. Jim Carrey, I think, is close because I think Jim Carrey could have done like a fun,
Yeah, I could see like the
crazy
yeah,
pirate.
kind of like the funny.
You know, like Ace
wiry.
Ventura, but with like a fucking
Yeah.
hat on.
And I think the age thing too, like you said, it would make a totally different movie.
But he wouldn't have pulled
Yeah.
off like the mystery. You know,
No.
the mystery that Johnny Depp has. Where he's always pulling a trick.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? He's kind of like you can't trust him.
And he's spry.
kind
you
of
know,
hate
he
him
can-
sometimes. You're like, oh, he's kind of a bad dude. Like
He's a bad dude, but then he's a good dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flip flop, flip flop, flip flop.
No, Johnny Depp owns this role.
Yeah, no, he
it's
definitely
crazy
does.
how much he owns it. Like they make 4 more
Who
fucking
could have
movies.
done this? Heath Ledger.
No, Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not the worst one.
better than those.
Yeah, well, Heath
Who
Ledger's
coulda sank
Heath Ledger's age was more of the Orlando Bloom role.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, Johnny Depp is more in like the early 30s.
Robert Downey Jr.
Mid-30s.
instead of Iron Man, he does this.
No. Robert Downey Jr. was a fucking cokehead during this time, so
It's perfect.
it's perfect.
He's probably hanging out with Johnny Depp.
Yeah, probably in the Viper Room.
So another thing that was interesting was the movie was actually almost shut down before it even came out because
Why?
Disney was worried they had about a ride adaptation to a movie, so
Uh-huh.
based off of a ride,
Yeah.
because they had the movie Country Bears released in 2002, and it
Oh,
did
yeah.
so poorly
I forgot
that
about
they
that.
actually went and they wanted to pull the plug on it.
Wow.
Which is, and the funny thing too was they actually went down to go have essentially a meeting to kind of get the axe. But the director told his concept artist to basically keep working and try to get as much as you can put together.
Yeah.
And when they came down to actually have the meeting, they were so impressed that they decided to keep the green light and to push
In the
forward.
meeting, they brought in Johnny Depp in character, and he danced around on the table,
Yeah.
spilling wine on people, and they just sold him on the idea.
Just said, "All right, sign me up,
Push it.
Buttercup."
Sign me up for 5 movies.
And actually, there was one last thing too. When they were kind of first writing the script, they were afraid that it was just going to become another basic pirate movie. So the writers, when they kind of turned a corner, it was with the supernatural cursed treasure. So before, at one point, for the while, it had no supernatural. It was just, a basic...
Just pirates.
Just a basic pirate movie.
Pirates.
But they ended up coming up with that supernatural idea, which eventually, sold, Disney on doing it more.
They really took that one and ran.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because the movies get more supernatural.
Oh, yeah.
Increased tenfold. All right, let's switch over to reviews. This is the reviews segment. And I'm your host, Timmy Tommy.
Timmy Tommy.
All right. Well, you get the gist of the good ones. I mean, this one's kind of weird. 10 out of 10 Depp for Emperor. I'm nearly 50 years old, a sober-grown man with children with whom I have now sat through hundreds of movies, many of which I have enjoyed, and I'm not completely hardened in my sophistication. The opening music to The Lion King brought tears to my eyes when my little ones were but wee tots.
What the fuck?
What the hell?
But still, these are, after all, just children's movies. In another life, I would never have seen them. And really, one can't take such movies too seriously, can you? And this guy goes on for 10 more paragraphs just loving the fucking movie.
What is up with people?
731 of 845 found this review helpful. 9 out of 10 terrific. 8 out of 10 surprisingly good. 8 out of 10 finally a real swashbuckling film to make me laugh.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
But more interesting if we scroll down.
Yes.
Right here. 1 out of 10.
Oh, yes. Here we go.
Yeah.
The bad reviews by K. Gilpin, January 13th, 2004. This movie, while it has an engaging start, quickly falls apart. The discovery of immortal ghost pirates whose appearance changes with moonlight is too ridiculous. By the end of the movie, my friend and I were turning to each other and shaking our heads in shame. Not only was it unbelievable that the movie could have not reached such great reviews, but that we paid to see it. If you must watch it, do so while inebriated. 24 out of 56 people found
Does he not realize it's like fantasy and it's
what the
pirates?
hell?
Yeah.
It was too unbelievable.
It's a
Yeah.
I could never believe that this is happening.
1 out of 10. Boredom. Tahami, September 11th, 2003. Oh, jeez. While the effects were slightly admirable, this movie made virtually no impression on me. I don't really remember the names of the characters, let alone why they did or felt what they did. I never could figure out why people kept getting into sword fights and shooting at skeletons they couldn't kill. Wouldn't you run away if you shot some guy in the head and he just shook it off laughing? Clearly nobody in this film caught on. Overall, I was not entertained. It wasn't even so bad, it was funny.
Jesus.
I feel like him sitting in the theater is just like this stone cold person.
There's no limit to what people will go online and bash. 1 out of 10, shockingly poor. If this one's long. 1 out of 10, God. Old Pirates movies put this one to shame. 1 out of 10, overrated. 3 out of 10. I like that because that's a little more honest. Mm-hmm. Like, just instead of just going with the 1 out of 10, you put a 3. Another Jerry Bruckheimer piece of trash. In 2005.
Oh, Jesus.
19 out of 46 people found this review helpful. And that was the review section. Back to my...
Hey. All right, let's what movies do you think were out when this movie was out? So this is my favorite. I love seeing what other movies were out.
It was 03 or 04? 04?
This is 03.
03.
The weekend of July 11th.
Oh, hit me with it.
2003. We got League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I actually...
Oh, wow. Remember that movie?
That's Sean Connery's last movie.
Really?
He retired after that movie. That's how bad it was.
Longest Yard was before that?
What?
Oh, wait, no, he wasn't in that.
No, that's Burt Reynolds.
They actually do.
I thought James Bond was in that picture.
Shit, motherfucker.
No, actually, League of Extraordinary Men, whenever that would be on like FX or USA, I would always put that movie
That's definitely like a cable movie.
Oh,
for
total
sure.
Total cable movie on like a Sunday or something like that.
With like behind the...
Definitely
FX.
FX.
Behind the scenes.
Definitely FX.
Oh, in this scene, you can see that everything is a green screen.
Yeah. The whole movie is a green screen.
I just remember like
this was Sean Connery's
Dr.
last
Jekyll
movie.
and Mr. Hyde. He's like Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
That was the coolest part.
What else was out? Terminator
First
3.
take cover, then shoot.
Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines.
Oh, okay.
Legally Blonde 2.
Finding
Nemo. Charlie's Angels 2.
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo.
Those are like the big movies.
That's a big one.
Wow. It's so weird seeing these
Couple
movies that were out there in
sequels.
that time.
Finding Nemo and Pirates came out around the same time. Wow.
Jeez.
I know. I feel like Nemo was more recent.
No, yeah, it's crazy. These movies are all 16 years old now.
That's fucking weird.
Oh
when
my
you say
God.
it like that, 16 years.
Yeah, because
ago.
I felt too old for Finding Nemo.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, we were.
Yeah, I remember
we were
liking it,
past
but yeah, I wasn't. It's not
I
like
think if
Hercules.
I'd seen it, yeah.
I loved Hercules when I was a kid, but like
Yeah,
Finding
yeah.
Nemo, I don't think of Finding Nemo. It doesn't really
Yeah,
Right.
no.
stick with me.
Wow.
And Danny DeVito. I mean, well, like one of our commenters on Instagram, if you're listening, we will do Danny DeVito.
Yeah,
Yeah, it will
someday
happen.
we'll do him.
We will.
Week 29.
200
Because I would
episodes.
love to see the two movies, any movies with Danny DeVito.
Week 29.
All right, well, before we discuss what we think are his best movies, let's move to his worst movie,
Oh,
Yoga
Worst
Hosers.
movie.
oh
Oh
man.
my God! All right, this is Yoga Hosers, directed by Kevin Smith.
Yoga
It's a
blowers.
spin-off of his 2014 horror film Tusk, which we saw in theaters.
We did.
Yeah,
We did.
which
Where
Was
did
that
we see that? What theater did we see
Province
that?
Place Mall,
Oh, that's right.
2014, because I was really into Smodcast.
yep,
Yeah.
I
And
was
Hollow
listening
Babylon,
to it a little bit
and
too.
that's when Tusk was getting made. And then I remember listening to Smodcast when he talked about Yoga Hosers, and then he made Yoga Hosers. And now it's like a joke. He's like, "Oh, I'm the guy who made Yoga Hosers."
Yeah.
But at the time, he was like proud. He was
Yeah.
proud that he's working with his daughter. And man,
He cried 500 times.
oh, he definitely cried 200 bazillion times.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
He probably cried the entire time he was filming.
Yeah.
And man, this movie
This movie is brutal.
brutally bad.
It
Is
was such
super
a
bad.
letdown from like because when Tusk came out, like that was obviously like an over the top movie, but that was still a good movie, a way better movie compared to this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
at least like the plot was, I don't know, it was like way more
It
enjoyable.
followed a better storyline.
Yeah, and
that
the-
movie did.
And the
Yeah.
guy, Michael Parks, the older guy,
Yeah, he
gave
had
a
a
great
good-
performance.
Yeah, he had a good
Oh
performance.
yeah, he was
Up
awesome.
until the movie went a little crazy.
Yeah.
with
Then
the
at the end, when they
walrus
show
shit.
the walrus and stuff, it gets
Yeah.
a little campy. But
And I just feel like too, like I was after seeing that, I was like, oh, this is cool. Like he's gonna come out with Yoga Hosers and then the Moose Jaws or whatever.
yeah, Moose Jaws
eventually.
sounded like maybe the funniest and coolest one.
Yeah, and like it seemed like, oh yeah, this will be like a not so serious, but this movie was just like I don't even care about.
Wow,
Moose
didn't we
Jaws.
do an episode about Tusk?
Did we on our first podcast?
I think we did.
We might have because it was
'Cause that's when we
2014.
saw
When did
it.
this come out? Yeah, you're right. We did because it came out September 6th. No, September 19th, 2014.
Yeah.
So we were like in the middle of our
Yeah,
podcast.
wow,
Yeah,
our old
yeah.
podcast.
Because we did it the fall of
We
2014.
must have roasted it so hard.
Yeah.
It's crazy because Tusk was like his first big movie since Cop Out. Remember Cop Out with Bruce Willis and Tracy
Oh
Morgan?
my god.
Yeah,
that was a
he did
fucking
Cop Out,
bomb.
and that was such a bad experience that he kind of took a break. And then he did this movie called Red State, which was like an indie movie, kind of like a horror movie. And then he took another break because the critics were so bad, hated it, whatever. So then he came up with Tusk on Smodcast,
Yep.
and that movie cost $3 million, and it only made 1.8, and it was actually an A24 movie, which is weird because we
Really?
love A24.
Wow.
But that movie, it's like a flop, and the critics. I mean, I actually kind of liked it, but critically wasn't loved. And then he makes Yoga Hosers. It has a bigger budget than Tusk. It's
Yeah.
$5 million, so
$5
$2 million
million
more.
budget.
And it doesn't look like that.
And
Tusk was a better looking movie.
And what does it
Yeah.
make?
It made $38,000.
$38,000.
That's like
That's so.
You make
fucking-
more than that working a year at CVS.
that's like,
Yeah.
dude, that's
Oh.
like 3 screenings. I feel like how many
That's
screenings of a
bad.
movie makes $38,000?
That's so fucking
Like
bad.
100?
That's
I
so
don't- how many-
poor.
Oh god, dude, that's so bad on a $5 million
I'm
budget.
seeing a pattern here.
And-
And it's that Kevin Smith doesn't make good movies.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
think-
he's
I
questionable.
think he lost his
man.
magic.
When you look at
a long
his
time ago.
from like obviously Clerks to Yoga Hosers.
What about Zach
There's
and
a-
Mary making porno? Do you remember that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah, that's him. He directed that.
Oh, that makes sense because Jay's in it, and
And I mean, yeah, like he has Seth Rogen, and
yeah.
I don't know, I feel like that might be his last good real movie.
This last
You know what's
average
funny about it?
movie?
Yeah.
I think that. I mean, for me, I didn't even realize he directed it, and it's probably because like Seth Rogen was so hot at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, what was her name? The actress.
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, and like she was, where it was almost like it was disguised by just that, just like that those popular actors.
Yeah, and it
and
came
stuff.
out around the time Knocked Up too, right?
Yeah, it was like right in this beginning of Seth Rogen as a main guy.
Just kind of felt like a stepping stone movie for Seth Rogen.
It was.
Yeah.
Just
He
like
made a
knocked
few
up.
of those. He made that like Observe and Report movie where he's like a mall cop.
And
he was like was a really weird, like kind of dark comedy.
Is that what Kevin Smith needs? Does he need like an actor on his way up? I don't know. But this movie was fucking bad.
Yeah, all right, let's get back. All right, this is a podcast about Johnny Depp, not Kevin Smith.
Oh yeah,
let's move back to this.
Oh, I kind of forgot that for a second.
So this movie's about yeah. I forgot what we're doing.
Yeah, I fucking hate Kevin Smith. God.
Yeah, no, I love him as a podcaster, but as a director,
I tried, and I liked him for a little while, and then I just got so sick of him talking about himself, dude.
He's his number one fan, but he's also his number one critic, which is weird.
Yeah, he's his number one critic and his number one fan, and he loves to make himself cry, and he just like he talks over people all the time.
Yeah.
Dude, Kevin Smith, man.
Oh, dude, he never lets his fucking Scott Mosier and tell a fucking goddamn story, and then he'll just cut him off to tell a story for the fifth time, the fifth episode in a row, and then he'll make himself cry like he just watched.
They don't do that podcast as often anymore. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, good. I hope they had a huge falling out, and they don't do it anymore.
No. They're both busy. He just directed, Scott Mosier directed The Grinch that came out in the fall.
The cartoon one?
Yeah.
The one that's terrible?
Well, it made a lot of money.
Did it?
Hundreds of $1 million.
Did it really?
Yeah, it was a big movie.
And then Yoga Hosers makes $38,000.
Yeah. Well, this was
and The Grinch, which is terrible, makes millions because of little kids.
I bet little kids loved it. They probably fucking loved it.
Yeah,
little kids don't know what a bad movie is.
Yeah, my niece and nephew went and saw it, so that's just like perfect timing release.
Yeah.
And then again,
right for the holidays.
Like we were saying earlier too, as kids, when you see a movie as a kid, it's like you don't know if it's good or bad. It's just if it's entertaining.
What do you have to pay? Who you have to pay, or what you have to pay to make a Grinch movie? Like who owns the rights to the Grinch?
The
Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
So I wonder how much you have to pay because they know if you make a Grinch movie, it doesn't matter how good or bad it is. You're gonna make fucking $100 million fucking dollars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially release.
That's what we should. That's what we should do as a team. We should just save up and buy the rights to Grinch for one movie and make an animated Grinch movie.
Well, it's I think Illumination. And people make Despicable Me. Those are the people who make those movies.
Really?
Yeah. Well, anyway, all right, let's get back to fucking Yoga Hosers.
Yeah.
All right, it's about two girls named Colleen. They both have the same name. They work at a convenience store called A to Z. This movie is filled with Canadian references.
This movie just screams at you the whole time. I am in Canada.
Yeah.
You are in Canada. This is Canada. We all speak Canadian.
Yeah, speak Canadian.
A boot.
A boot.
A boot.
Sorry.
It was almost like mocking. Like it was almost offensive.
Yeah.
No, I think it crosses that line because it's all, I mean, to my knowledge, American actors from, I believe. I don't think there's any real Canadian actors. But anyway, and then it's just like, it's not even like a believable. It's just certain words about, obviously about
It was like if I made a movie about like Japan, and then I just like hired a bunch of people, and they were all like,
yeah,
and they'd be like, "Oh, dude, that's so offensive, man.
Yeah,
you're not respecting you're not respecting."
I don't know how Canadians can like Kevin Smith after seeing this movie because this movie is.
No, I think that would that would be like us watching a British director do some movie about like the United States, and
who's the biggest actor from Canada?
Oh, tons. There's a lot of Seth Rogen's Canadian. There's tons.
What's his face from Friends is
Matthew Perry. Yeah, Matthew Perry.
Yep. Yeah.
What about that guy?
I remember that because
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
In middle school,
Moranis, he's Canadian.
In middle school, we had to pick people.
Michael J. Fox, Canadian, really?
Was it?
He's from Canada. So I remember in middle school, I think it was in White Cluster. We had to like pick people. Oh no, it was like countries or something. So I had like Canada. So then I was like finding famous people. So that's why I always remember
Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox, really?
Yeah, he's Canadian. Yeah.
Wow.
Jim Carrey.
Will Smith.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's Canadian.
Will Smith.
No. He's from Philadelphia.
Kareem Abdul-
Vin Diesel.
Yeah, Vin Diesel.
No.
He's from Toronto.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. All right, that's enough. Let's get back to Yoga.
Heath Ledger.
I don't have friends.
He's Australian.
George
I
Washington.
got family.
George Washington was from Canada.
Was he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sure. That's where he chopped down the cherry tree.
Yeah.
All right, so they work at the convenience store.
Oh, they're also Kevin Smith's and Johnny Depp's daughters.
Kevin Smith's daughter, Harley Quinn Smith, plays one of the Colleens, and then Johnny Depp's daughter, Lily Rose Depp, plays the other Colleen. They work at the convenience store. They do yoga, I guess.
They love yoga. They
love
do
yoga.
Yeah.
They use the moves that they learn at yoga later in the movie.
You know what it reminded me of?
Beat stuff. What?
The OA.
Oh, with like the hand signals.
Yeah, because she like did a dance to fight evil. I was like,
not fighting evil. She does it to fucking
stop school shooting.
Yeah, but she also does it to like travel to another dimension. That's like the point of the show.
Oh, in the second season, yeah.
Well, in the first, I never saw that. But in the first season,
yeah, you skipped. You watched like the first episode and then missed fucking.
I watched a lot more than that. I saw them in the glass thing. They were all trapped in their rooms. I saw that entire episode, which I thought was the best episode of the whole first season.
The show was great.
I was like, man, I wish it was a whole show about just them. And
they were in that thing a lot.
Yeah,
but many episodes they were in that thing.
But then the dancing and the pretentious teenage angst, it's just too much for me. Well, and that's what this reminded me of. They fought off evil spirits with a dance.
With yoga?
Yeah.
With yoga.
Well, the movie's not good enough to really get angry over because it's a piece of shit.
It's terrible.
All right, so then what? The little sausages start attacking people.
Yeah,
played by Kevin Smith.
God,
the Bratzies.
Yeah.
The Bratzies.
There's like people getting like hacked up or whatever, and then you eventually see the Bratzies. It's a little like sausage Nazi person.
Played by Kevin Smith. It's so bad.
Yeah, so that's like a little
keeps going. Wunderbar.
Wunderbar. Nine. Das Food.
Oh, it's so bad.
So fucking bad.
So fucking bad.
Yeah.
Then Johnny Depp comes to them. And he plays the guy. What's his name?
I think it's some weird
guy.
French Canadian.
Oh my god, I'm blanking. It's such a stupid fucking name.
Yeah, it's like Guy something.
Guy Lapointe.
Yeah.
Lapointe.
Lapointe.
And he's like a French Canadian like investigator, and he's trying to find the killer, and he helps them. Fucking.
He's famous because the Tusk.
Yeah, he's like a famous investigator.
He's the guy who
connected
saved
to Tusk because he was in Tusk too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? The girls are trying to hang out. That's the weirdest part of the movie was those kids. They're like Satanists.
Oh yeah,
It just seems like it's a weird like almost like a Clerks movie, but like it's about nothing because it's just about them working at a convenience store. But then like it's gonna take a turn because it's a fucking Kevin Smith movie, and then it's like, all right, the sausages are like evil Nazi sausages or whatever, but then there's that weird storyline of them like having a crush on the hot kid from class, them getting invited to a party, them not being able to go to the party because they had to work at the convenience store, and then like I was like, why don't they just shut down the convenience store and go to the party?
Yeah.
So then instead they're like, we'll have the party here at the convenience store, and then they shut down the convenience store anyway.
Yeah.
And then
that really pissed Chase off.
the kid.
That really pissed me off.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Then they call the kid and they're like, why don't you come here and bring the party here? And the kid ends up like revealing a plot by being on the other end of the phone, hanging up and with his buddy, and he's like, listen, man, it's just the two of them. There's no party. And he's like, listen, man, we're going to go there, and we're going to kill these girls like we planned, and we're going to chop their bodies up. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
Where the hell did this story come
It took
from?
a weird turn that they were like Satanists, and they wanted to go there and kill the girls for some reason.
Yeah.
But then it's like irrelevant because it has nothing to do with the plot.
No.
Yeah.
They go there to the convenience store and get killed by the sausages.
Yeah. And then you find out that underneath the convenience store is a Nazi laboratory of a Canadian Nazi guy.
Yep.
Who's
somehow still around.
He cryo-froze himself.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Played by Ralph Garman from Hollywood Babylon.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's just talking.
Shamelessly pulling
He's talking in his German accent. Then he does Al Pacino. And he switches to his Al Pacino for a few minutes.
Yep.
Then he switches to his Sylvester Stallone. Then he switches to, oh my god, what's that weird guy's name? Rip Torn.
Yeah.
Right? Or no, not Rip Torn. It's what the fuck is his name? I forget. He always does that. Hello, it's me. That accent. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Then he does the fucking Arnold.
Yeah.
It's just like he's just doing his Hollywood Babylon performance in the movie. It's so dumb, the movie.
Yeah.
So then what? Yeah, then he has this big creature that he puts the Bratzies in, the little sausages. And
all the people they've been killing, he's been taking their skin and body parts and building this giant
hockey player.
Yeah,
it's a gigantic goalie hockey player.
Yeah, it's
made of skin.
It's a big Jason, like from the horror movies. Jason Voorhees.
So dumb.
He fills it with the little sausage guys. He's like, go ahead and get in there.
Yeah, it's like a Power Rangers Megazord.
They're all powering it from within.
Yeah.
And then the girls have to fight it off.
And they fight off. Oh, we didn't even talk about throughout the movie, every time a character is introduced, it shows their fake Instagram page of like Canadian Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's like their character bio. And it's up on the screen for like 2 seconds at a time. You can't even read the fucking thing.
Every time a new character comes in the screen, they freeze it on them and do this. And it's like stupid video game, fucking music in the background. God. And fucking, oh my God, it was so cringy.
It's like Scott Pilgrim-esque.
It was like Scott Pilgrim-esque, but like...
Yeah, but terrible.
And then like those weird like slow-mo intros like from Creed 1. Mm-hmm. But they only did it for like a couple characters.
Yeah.
They didn't do it the whole movie. Every character. Oh, the guy's dad. Bling, bling.
Yeah.
Oh, the chick that works for the fucking school. Their high school teacher. Fling, fling.
Oh,
the fucking whole thing comes out like, oh my God, I don't give a fuck. And it was so fast you couldn't even read it. Couldn't even read all the hashtags and all the fucking descriptions. Terrible.
So at the end of the movie, it's the two girls. They're fighting off the Barazzis with Guy Lapointe, Johnny Depp, who's in horrible makeup throughout the
moles
whole movie.
all over his face.
And he has these moles.
Oh, yeah.
Big brown moles on his face. Like every scene, they keep changing
They're
location.
constantly moving.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
So like when I first noticed it, I was like, oh, wow, is this movie that bad? Where like when they redid prosthetics for one day, they just forgot where his moles were. But then it was just like obvious where it would be like one mole between his eyes, then like 6 moles all over his face. So there was some, like you said, some kind of like inside.
It was funny at certain points. It's like he had like a million moles on his face.
Yeah.
So it was kind of funny, but like it was a weird gag that you don't even know why it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this whole movie seemed so like made up as he went along.
For sure.
You know, they got Tusk and so and obviously he had Yoga Hosers in mind, but Tusk was somewhat received.
I can't believe they spent $5 million making this movie.
Yeah, I feel like they went all to the cast.
Like, can I have fucking $50,000 and change my life? Jesus Christ. And you know what I mean? $5 million to make this goddamn movie seems like such a waste.
And it wasn't on special
effects. And it made $38,000. That's the best part, dude. That's the funniest part, that it made $38,000. And it cost $5 million to make.
That's crazy.
It didn't even make $100,000.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
That's hilarious.
You
could just save more.
They made enough to buy a Toyota Camry.
That's the best part.
Wow, this is a good one. In an extended review for the AV Club in 2017, Nathan Rabin summed up the film as a fiasco, blaming the self-indulgence and laziness leading to Smith combining what are clearly his 2 great loves in his life, his family, and making terrible comedies. It's a beautiful thing when a man is able to fuse his personal and professional life this way. It's just a shame that the result is borderline unwatchable.
Totally true.
It's so true, though, because he just like took his daughter and her best friend, Lily Rose Depp, and just told them, like, the script is so bad in this way. It looked like they were just like improvising.
Yeah.
Like them being friends, and it was so bad.
Best friends in real life, too? Is that
they're like, they're actually friends.
They took Johnny Depp, who has a lot of talent.
Yeah, and it's unused. It's not even,
And they just gave him a script, and he does a stupid, dumb accent that is like, it's not even French.
No.
It's
he's
weird,
like, like he's fucking like, he's so like, it just sounds like a nerdy like cartoon character. It's so bad.
Like, I know Johnny Depp probably has some movies that he's the leading actor in that are probably just as bad as this, but
big fucking stinkers.
This movie is so bad that it has to be one of the best, one of the worst movies he's ever been a part of. At least.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to how it was all tied in, like how his daughter's in it too, and then like he's in it, and then like what I was saying, like I just feel like they just made it up as they went along, and it was like, okay, my daughter, she likes to sing, and your daughter's a good singer, so we're gonna have something, and we're gonna showcase them singing, so we're gonna do a lot of singing, all right?
Oh,
and then, Johnny, your daughter, she speaks beautiful French, so we gotta have that. We're gonna have a random stupid scene where she's speaking French to Johnny Depp, even though he's just saying English.
His character is supposed to be a French character.
Yeah.
And she's speaking French to him. She's like, I'm gonna get to it on a real level and speak French to him. She speaks French to him, and he obviously, Johnny Depp doesn't know how to speak French because he doesn't speak it back.
Yeah,
it's like awkward.
Yeah.
It's awkward
because then they're like subtitling her, and he's just speaking English, and then he's translating her to her friend. It's a fucking weird ass scene.
Lazy is a good way to put it. That is a really good way to put it. And then same thing with what's his name from the Smodcast again? I always forget his name.
Kevin Smith.
No.
Scott Mosier?
Yeah, no, not Scott. Sorry, not Scott. Babylon.
Ralph Garman.
Yeah. Then him, same thing. Because like when I listened to that podcast too for a certain amount of time, so he just did his shtick. He was like, okay, you're going to be this guy,
voices,
and you're just going to do your shtick. And I just was like, and then like the CG, and I don't even call it CG.
Oh my god, we didn't even touch upon that.
Were terrible for the little sausage people when they were blowing
up. This
up.
movie has some of the worst special effects I've ever witnessed.
Like, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Saved by the Bell. You know, like with like that colorful like artwork and stuff.
Yeah.
But the little shreds reminded me of just like a yellow shred.
Yeah, the little zigzag.
Yeah, the little zigzag.
Yeah,
But just those like squirting out everywhere.
God.
But
so bad.
Yeah, it was just terrible. It was too bad because Critters 3. Obviously, we knew that wasn't going to be a serious movie, but it was enjoyable. Where this was like, oh, okay, yeah, a comedy that's going to be over the top, but it was just, it was terrible.
Yeah, and this movie also stars like, and they actually had like a halfway decent cast. Like they got Tony Hale from Arrested Development to play. To play Louis Rose Depp's Colleen's dad.
And even at that time, he was like on the hotter side.
Like he's funny. He's in like the show Veep. He's in Veep. Yeah. And then they got like her Louis Rose Depp's stepmom is like the girl from American Pie. Like she's a pretty funny movie. She pops in random shit. She's kind of funny.
Justin Long, I mean, I know he's cooled off, but
he's terrible. Like as of right now, he's his career's Kevin Smith pretty much killed his career with these two movies. Tuscan. I mean, they had like Jason Mewes is in it as like a cop for like 2 seconds. Oh my god, this movie is fucking bad. I don't know. All right, well, we don't. There's no facts really.
Yeah, no, you couldn't find any facts. There was.
Yeah, I mean, one fact, it was supposed to be part of his True North trilogy with Tusk, this, and then Moose Jaws. And obviously, Moose Jaws is never coming.
Yeah, due to the tragedy that is this movie.
Yeah.
Moose Jaws will never get made, which sounds like the funniest one.
I know. I feel like if it ever were to, it would be the same thing where he's going to be in his feelings for a while.
It might actually have worked for that story.
Yeah.
Like think about like a campy movie with a group of friends that lives up in Canada.
Yeah.
And they get tortured and killed by a moose.
Yeah.
It's Jaws, but a moose. And it's like they're in a cabin. Like say they go camping in a cabin. And
it could have been funny. Like remember when Club Dread?
Yeah.
That was a funny like slasher movie where it was kind of semi. It wasn't a full spoof, but it was like a funny movie.
Yeah.
Moose Jaws could have been like a Club Dread type.
Yeah.
With maybe like Jane Silent Bob will pop up, even though they're not part of the same universe, I guess technically, because this is his shitty True North, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah. But it could have been.
But yeah, like he could have.
Could have been.
See, the problem with Kevin Smith really just. It is self-indulgence. Like it's like him on a podcast rambling like we're doing now.
Yeah.
And just coming up with shit, and somehow he uses his fame to get like $3 million for Tusk and $5 million for this, and like just blows it. It's just like a waste of money, I feel like.
Well, there was that one critic, I forget his name, but I was blown away when you said this. He brought this to Sundance. That's just
I can't believe that.
You look like a fool. But there was the one critic saying like it was a slap in the face to young directors, because there's a lot of people out there that can't even get their foot in the door. Never mind $5 million and go to Sundance with a movie like that. And it's just like just a waste. Like it's just
people have great ideas that
and like I don't know, maybe he was. I mean, of course he was hoping it was going to pan out and be like a really over the top, maybe even like best case scenario become like a cult film and a cult series, but it was just.
Missed the mark.
Yeah.
Missed the mark on that one.
It definitely drags Johnny Depp's name down for sure. I mean, not like this isn't a movie that like kind of killed his image, because let's face it, not many people saw this movie.
Yeah.
$38,000. Like
right.
Yeah. So it doesn't really drag Johnny Depp's
even though it's on Netflix.
Down. It's on Netflix.
Well, you know what, too? Johnny Depp, unless you really knew that was his daughter and he was involved in the movie, there was prosthetics. He's unrecognizable.
He's unrecognizable. So it's he definitely gets away with this movie like unscathed. I think it's not like let's look at some of those other bad movies like Mordecai. I've heard that's horrible, and that's a big name with him as the lead character.
Yeah.
Then you got like Rum Diary, which I heard was not very good.
Oh yeah, that didn't really sit well with.
Yeah, it's based on a book from the same author of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Same author with Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah.
That guy. Like, what else? I mean, I'm trying to think of what other bad movies he's in. I mean, Alice in Wonderland is not a great movie, but it made like $1 billion. So
Transcendence.
Yeah, Transcendence is not good.
It was a big budget movie.
Big flop.
That fell short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that movie. I haven't seen it in a while, but I know what stands out in my head was like it was going real good for a while, and it was fine. And then like when I have to spoil it,
its
but, like,
building up phase wasn't bad. Like it was average. Like you were just like, all right.
And then when it
building
actually
up this techie world where obviously something bad's gonna happen.
And then he just took that turn, and I don't know, it was stupid.
Yeah, it just got ridiculous. It just got so stupid.
And now Johnny Depp's obviously in the Fantastic Beasts, obviously, is Grindelwald.
Yep. That's what's paying the bills.
And it's funny because, obviously, like a year or two ago, he had that thing with his ex-wife, Amber Heard, where they got divorced, and because he was abusive and all that shit. And now he's suing her because she came out, like, something with like to do with like a non-disclosure agreement, and like, she broke it. So now he's suing her for like $45 million or something.
Oh, probably for the money that he gave.
Well,
her
he only gave her like I think like $7 million. She donated it all to like Abused Women's Charity or something.
Yeah.
But like she broke some NDA or something, like slandering Johnny Depp's name. So now he's suing her, and I guess Warner Brothers. There's an article right now like Warner Brothers is like upset with Johnny Depp, like. They're worried that his image is going to hurt Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
And like now there's talk like because they haven't filmed the third one, they started
They're
this
recast
fall.
him.
Yeah, like are they going to recast him as Grindelwald? Because they're supposed to be making 3 more.
Wow.
It's a 5-part movie.
I don't know, man.
Wow.
I saw that first one, and like I love the Harry Potter world and stuff.
It's not the same.
And it was just like, I know. And then like I mean, I know you hated that one, the main actor.
I
too.
do not like him in that movie.
But then, and I feel like when I have like forced myself to like it.
Yeah.
So
so do I. We saw the newer one in IMAX, and like the visuals are fun.
Yeah.
But the movie itself it's just not the same as Harry Potter.
No, it's not
At all.
It doesn't capture the same magic.
And Johnny Depp looks like a fucking weird ghost guy.
Yeah.
He's so weird.
They're gonna recast him, and then he's just gonna be like, I've taken on a new form. You know what I mean? Like, because it's magic.
If they recast him, they probably wouldn't even say anything.
Just like Dumbledore.
Oh yeah, really? Yeah, when they recast,
you see, it all works.
Yeah,
it all connects together.
It's all magic.
I feel like they're not going to recast him. I just feel like I don't know. Johnny Depp is such a weird place right now. Like
he's not like the most popular person.
No.
So it's not like his news is really, I guess.
But he's still considered like an A-lister because he's made so many.
Like we're not
movies.
talking MCU here.
No, but it is Harry Potter, and it's as the big.
But it's not.
Yeah, but
it's
still
fantastic.
technically
It's
Harry
Fantastic
Potter.
Beasts.
It's part of the Harry Potter verse.
Yeah.
And there's only so many franchises right now. There's MCU, DC, Harry Potter, Transformers. There's only so many mega IPs, I guess you call them.
Yeah.
And
Pirates.
No, Pirates is dead. They had one, last year or the year before?
Yeah.
That movie was trash. Dead Men Tell No Tales. Did you guys, anybody see that?
I saw some
Speaking
of it,
Pirates,
yeah.
I
No,
saw
I
some
didn't
of
even
it.
think I saw it.
That was bad. I could not. Javier Bardem, I think, plays the bad guy.
Yeah, which is too bad because I like him.
I found a review that gave Yoga Hosers a 10 out of 10.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Smith
Let's kick it over to the reviews, man.
Just to backpedal a little bit here. Awesome, ridiculous, funny as hell.
I think Kevin Smith wrote that.
Yeah.
Jimbo
crying.
Slicey Dicey, June 14th, 2016. Imagine Clerks meets Ghoulies. It was supposed to be a kids movie, but ended up as a midnight movie that kids can't see yet. It was hilarious. It was weird. It was different. There were callbacks to old movies. You might want to re-watch some of the old stuff before going in to watch this one. There were awesome cameos. The king of cameos makes an appearance.
Stan Lee is what they're talking about?
They don't even say
It's
it.
got to be
They
Stan Lee.
must- they must be-
Yeah.
The story is pretty original, like most of Kevin's stuff. Killer Nazi sausages try to take over Canada. How high do you have to get to come up with that? Silent Bob high.
And
Jesus,
you
this must
guys
have been
were
written by
high.
a
And
15-year-old.
that probably didn't help.
No,
The
it
movie
didn't.
was terrible.
That's how high you have to
Terrible.
be. Johnny Depp, his daughter, and Kevin's daughter had me holding my sides at times.
What?
Jesus.
No.
Please see this and enjoy it as much as I did. Huge Kevin Smith fan, so yes, I'm a bit biased, and I was lucky enough to see a sneak preview hosted by the man.
Oh my God!
He fucking knows Kevin Smith.
This is star fucking.
25 out of 59 found this review helpful.
He saw a fucking screening with Kevin Smith.
But literally, you have to scroll through like 100 reviews that are all 2 out of 10 in all seriousness. What happened to Kevin Smith? 1 out of 10, virtually unwatchable. 2 out of 10, when a guy goes Superman child, has a daughter, and teams up with Johnny Depp and his daughter, then writes a script. How to spend 88 minutes of your life watching a comedy without laughing.
That's accurate.
2 words for Kevin Smith: grow up. 1 out of 10.
Wow, grow up.
Oh my God. All right, well, let's move over to the best/worst of Johnny Depp.
You know what was the worst thing about Yoga Hosers though?
What?
Was just how they like the Pucky Charms, the fake knockoff cereal that they had in there. It's like Pucky because I guess like Canadians love hockey. Pucky Charms. I don't know if Canadians walk around eating Lucky Charms out of the box often, but I would say maybe 39 out of 40 characters in this movie were eating Pucky Charms out of the box. And it was in like every scene. They cut to a scene where it's a security guard and he's like watching cameras or whatever and he's on the phone with some guy. And in the background, there's fucking Pucky Charms. Like they're flipping through a magazine at one point. There's an ad for Pucky Charms. It's like it just shoves the jokes down your throat. It just so shamelessly grabs at bad jokes over and over and over again, just as it shamelessly grabs at people's off talents. Oh, you're gonna do your voices. Oh, you're gonna do your French. Oh, we're gonna have the girls sing. Like it was just so try hard. It was like when you get that kid trying to hang out with you and he's just so try hard and you're like, dude, you're a nice guy, but like your jokes are bad and like you're trying so hard to be funny, it's not funny. It's like a parent cringy and like secondhand embarrassing. That was the worst part about this movie.
That was a good review.
And like
you summed it up.
They do the fucking and they do those video game intros. They do it 100 times.
Yeah.
Stop! I get the joke. It's not it's not that I don't get the joke and you have to show me more of it. It's that I get the joke, but the joke's not funny.
Yeah.
Like stop, you're bad, and you should feel bad.
Well, that's a good quote. We should tweet that at Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
I'm gonna edit just that 1 second right there and just tweet it at him.
Yeah, and then he's going to cry.
2 words. Grow up.
He's going to read it on his podcast and cry and be like, I'm just trying to make a movie with my family, enjoy my daughter's life. My daughter's life is beautiful, and I just want to try to enjoy it.
I want to capture her womanhood.
Dude, the only good thing about your daughter is her big bum while she's doing yoga.
Ooh.
That was
all right, let's talk about his best movie first. We'll see. What do you guys think? Pirates of the Caribbean, obviously, he was nominated for an Oscar. Do you think that's one of his best performances? Not movie. Let's talk about his performance.
As the character?
Yeah, as a character, Jack Sparrow. Is it one of his best performances?
Yeah.
It's definitely one of his best.
Top
three. Top three, for sure.
Top 3.
Creating a character.
Yeah.
Is it his best movie?
Definitely.
No. Definitely not his best movie.
No, I could put a lot of movies over that easily. Blow, hands down.
Blow is an incredible movie.
Yeah.
Like, that one's hard to not say, like, his acting in that movie is incredible. It's not over the top like he's playing as some goofy character. It's just straightforward, hard acting. And the fucking that heartstrings that movie pulls at the end, dude, with the daughter. That's like a potential cry movie. That's a fucking really good movie.
Well, I'll kick it off. I think Edward Scissorhands is his best movie. I think it's the most original movie. I think he portrays that character so, like, I think it's one of not only his most memorable characters, like Jack Sparrow, like it's up there.
Yeah.
I just think the way he plays in that movie as like a lonely lost boy in that house, and then he gets found, and he's so it's like that movie always like made me sad, kind of. Like, I don't know why that movie is a very touching movie, even though it's so fucking weird with the hands that are scissors, blah blah. But I think when I think of Johnny Depp, it's like Blow and Sleepy Hollow. I think of Tim Burton a lot, so I think Edward Scissorhands is definitely my favorite Johnny Depp movie. Yeah, I think it's one of his best performances for sure. But
worst?
His worst? I mean, oh God, after just watching Yoga
Hosers. It's tough because I feel like if we watched that movie, what is it?
I've heard
Mordecai.
I've heard Mordecai.
I think if we watched Mordecai, we might say.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if we watched that movie, if we'd even want to talk about that movie on a podcast.
No.
At least I can make fun of Yoga.
It's probably longer.
Yeah, and it's like takes itself too serious.
Yeah. So I'm sticking with Yoga Hosers because I think that movie's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking as a movie
sucks.
that he was a part of. He was in almost 2/3 of it. So
Yeah.
I think that qualifies him to be part of it. And I think it's one of the worst movies. He's definitely on his filmography. It's one of his worst movies.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking with it. I think it's definitely Yoga Hosers.
I agree with that.
It's embarrassing.
So it's probably Universal. That's definitely his worst.
Yeah, it's embarrassing that he was a part of. I get it. You're making a movie with your daughter, but damn, dude.
Damn, boy.
Damn.
He's got to stop. He's got to stop making movies.
What about you? What do you think is his best movie, Tom?
It's a hard. I really, really love Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I love
I
that
knew you were
movie.
going to say that.
Because that's one of the movies I own on DVD. I don't own a lot of movies. And I've seen that movie like 10 times. And it's like one of those like drug like cult classics.
Yeah.
Like what's the fucking drug movie? The newer one about the kid who steals the fucking TV from his grandma and stuff. And he shoots up heroin. He gets his arm chopped off.
Oh, Jesus. It's with Jared Leto.
Ass to ass. What's that movie?
Wait, what?
It's with Jared Leto. Requiem for a Dream.
The Requiem for a Dream.
Oh.
You ever seen that movie?
Yeah, no, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Oh, you got to see
that movie
it.
Makes
That
heroin
movie's
look
insane.
terrible. Yeah.
That
I thought you said recent. That movie's like 20 years old.
No, I'm just saying.
I
Like
thought you
that,
said
it
recent.
falls
I
in
was
that
trying to
category.
think. When you said, I thought you said recent, so I was like trying to think of like a recent drug movie. That's
Yeah.
why I was confused. But yeah, Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah. Like that falls into that category of like drug cult classic.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like he travels to Vegas. He's got a suitcase full of drugs. Benicio del Toro as his lawyer is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
That movie's crazy because it also is like 2 movies.
Yeah.
If you like that movie, it takes place. It starts off with them going to Vegas and staying in a hotel, and then like things go bad, and like literally the movie could end.
Yeah.
Like he like leaves Vegas and is out on the highway, and there's a scene with Gary Busey, and like he's the fucking cop and stuff, and like that movie could roll credits, and you'd be like, wow, what a weird campy indie film druggy movie. But then instead he like goes back to Vegas to meet back up with his lawyer, and like it starts back up again.
Yeah.
And he stays in a second hotel, and there's more crazy scenes, and it's about Hunter S. Thompson, that author, and he's so crazy, and he like went to Las Vegas to like write an article about like basically the Baja 1000, like basically a race, like a dune buggy, dirt bike, all out, all terrain race, 1,000 miles through the desert. He went to go like write an article about it and turned it into like a drug weekend where he went on like an adventure and wrote this crazy article and submitted it to the magazine as his job. Like,
oh my God.
You paid me to write an article about a race, and this is the article I wrote. It's called Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's insane. And it was so crazy that they made this fucking movie about it.
Yeah.
But Blow, sometimes when you say what's the better movie, it's like, what's the movie that I could show to anybody? Anybody could watch the movie and like it.
Yeah.
Not everybody would like Fear and Loathing in Las
No, I agree
Vegas.
with that.
No.
I bet a lot of girls wouldn't like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's probably a very dude movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Blow is a fucking movie that it's like Shawshank.
Yeah.
It's like everybody is going to love that movie and fall for that story.
Yeah.
And think about that story and feel for those characters. And go through.
And it's kind of like an epic movie where it's like about a guy's life, like almost.
Yeah.
Like it's a long span.
It is a long,
Like
so I'd say best is Blow for me.
What about worst?
And worst, Yoga Hosers is fucking terrible. But I don't know about this fucking.
I know it's hard to say because
Mordecai
Mordecai. If we
movie.
had seen Mordecai, if any of us 3 had seen it,
This
we'd have more
fucking
insight.
Mordecai movie, man. I don't know.
We'll never watch it.
Yeah, it's tough though because
2015.
it's kind of like with the last week with like Critters 3. It's like you look at some other movies that Leo did. It's like okay, yeah, more of a starring role, but like I don't know, those movies would be so hard to get through.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like at least with these, there's the Yoga Hosers and Critters 3. It's a little bit more entertaining.
I mean, even just quickly looking at the reviews for Mordecai, it's got like 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10.
so it's probably.
I'm sure
Slightly
some
better than
people.
Yoga.
Because I feel like the tough thing too is when Johnny Depp's in a movie like that when he is like the lead actor.
He's taking it serious.
Yeah, and then like plus there's a lot of like fanboys and people that like him.
Yeah, and people that are just dumb.
Yeah, and there's like instantly gonna like there's gonna be a lot of people that will just like, oh, Johnny Depp's it. They'll watch it. Oh, it was a great performance.
Yeah. People that like love like terrible TV shows and stuff, like the people who watch
Middle America who loves NCIS and that's all they watch.
Oh my god!
Or like any show that they come out with, like fucking bumping
CSI.
Buddies. Yeah.
So you're kind of up in the air on the worst. I mean,
I'm up on the air, but I'll my vote will be Yoga Hosers because we watched it and it was fucking really bad and I almost fell asleep and.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chase?
Well, Yoga Hoser is definitely the worst that I've ever seen. He's been a part of.
Yeah.
Hands down. And then what you were saying, Tom, was like spot on where my thinking was. I mean, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, I've seen it a million times. It's one of the movies I would put on like at the end of the night. Like,
I used to do that because I used to put it in my Xbox.
Yeah, it was
I
just
had it on DVD.
Great movie. And then I started watching it with subtitles. And I started picking up on so many other little things.
Like when the cop's on the phone.
Yeah, and there's so much little dialogue that you don't pick up, especially if you're sitting there.
The first time they're checking in to the first hotel, he's tripping on acid. And he's like watching the patterns of the carpet like all crazy. But there's a sheriff on a phone in the background, on a payphone. And he's like just having a conversation. But Johnny Depp's like constantly narrating the movie. Mm-hmm. It's like him always telling the story about what he did, about what they were doing. Like we were tripping our minds and we walked in and it was like, like right. So he's like doing that. But if you listen to the sheriff, he's like, he's like, nope. Yeah, no, we found the body. Yeah, it was all chopped up into pieces.
Oh yeah,
it spread about a bunch of rooms. Yeah, and he's like, no, yeah, that was your mama. Like he's like telling a guy that his mom was like been chopped up and like he's an actual cop and stuff and it's like there's just so much weird shit going on in that movie.
Yeah.
I love when for the first half of the movie he's got a photographer on the way.
Yeah,
Like, there's a photographer on the way. He's the best they got. This Portuguese guy, the last name like Medeiros, like some kind of Portuguese last name. He's on the way, the Portuguese guy. And then he gets there, it's just this white guy. And he's like super like straightforward. How you doing, sport? But like he's all tripping on acid and like drugs and he's just tripping out. And he's like, "You're not Portuguese, man." And he fucking throws oranges at him and kicks him out the room and shit.
Oh my god,
that fucking movie.
Yeah, no, I mean that was a great movie, but then the way you put it with Blow is so true. I mean, it's an overall just a great movie.
Yeah, I feel like Blow is universally.
So I'd have to go with Blow. So
you
I'd go
sit anybody down and watch Blow. They'd fucking love that movie.
Yeah, so Blow would be my best. Yoga Hosers the worst.
Yeah, and I think anybody who would watch Yoga Hosers would probably agree.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, how did Kevin Smith get Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
And why is he in this movie?
Yeah.
You know, like Mordecai, you could get like he probably got paid like $20 million to be Mordecai.
Yeah.
Like you can just tell he didn't get paid anything to be in this movie.
No.
And if he did, it was probably like, I don't know, $50,000. Like the budget's only $7 million.
Or he contributed money. He was like, money.
He might have even done it for free because it's like his daughter and he's just doing it to be a dad.
He probably did pay money, dude.
Yeah.
He probably did put down money for this movie.
Who knows? Well, I don't know. I don't know how Kevin Smith even got $7 million.
Yeah,
That's insane that someone lost that much money.
I know.
Johnny Depp probably put down like $2 million just because it's his daughter.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking embarrassing.
Crazy.
That movie.
That's insane.
But all right, well, that's Johnny Depp for you.
Best and worst.
Best/worst.
Yeah, none of us chose Pirates.
I think because I do think it's one of his best performances.
He fills that role almost like how Robert Downey Jr. fills Iron Man.
Yeah, like he is Jack Sparrow and he is the franchise.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like since they went 5 movies, it kind of killed it a little bit for me.
Got a little convoluted.
And like, the reason why it worked so much is he was a supporting character in the first 3.
Yeah.
So it was kind of fun. But then like he became the main star in the last 2. And like, it's just not the same. 5 movies is too much.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, it kind of killed it for me a little bit in my eyes.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate his role. I think Jack Sparrow is an iconic character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, hats off to the role.
Yeah, it's definitely one of his best.
Yeah.
For sure, but it's none of our best.
Nope.
No.
But it's on IMDb as his best, so.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week, ladies and gents.
Not like these.
Oh.
Not like these. Hey, guys. I can't believe you made it all this way. Thanks for listening. You're still listening. You're a champ. You're a soldier. Follow us on Instagram at best/worst. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play. And give us a listen on whatever your preferred platform is. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.